The sun has just exploded. The sun has just exploded, Xander. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me? Oh. Hello, hello, hello. Rob Stanley, what's up, man? Hello. Dave Barnes, hello. Kevin, how you doing tonight, sir? Movie Freak 2000, hello. Lucas Fonseca, hello. Motley Crue, hello. Justin Oakley, hello. Hope you guys are doing well. Doing good, Dave. Doing good. Doing very good. When's the trip vid going to be up? Probably I'll work on it tomorrow. I've got a lot of footage to edit together. So I will have that edited together tomorrow, hopefully, and have it uploaded day after. So but yeah, back from my little birthday vacation in Texas, and yeah, feel like I've been off the grid for a while. I know, man. It's been a while. I feel like I'm completely, I've lost track of everything. But, had a fun time in Texas. Had a fun time in Texarkana. Had a fun time in Mississippi. Had a fun time in, let's see, just touched into Louisiana. Yeah. Got to hang out with my buddy Jay the Stingray, which was very cool. So, hey, Mark Striano, what's up, man? Thank you for becoming a patron. I appreciate that. I'm doing very well. Thank you. Yes. Chick-fil-A, man. Yeah. Chick-fil-A. Good chicken. Good chicken. Good chicken. Good fries, great service. You know what I mean? You can't beat it. Can't beat the Chick-fil-A. Pick up any hitchhikers? Nope. I did not pick up any hitchhikers. My mother told me never to do that. Rabid remake is coming out in 2020. Also Yep, I heard about the Black Christmas remake. I'm pretty sure I've heard about the Rabid remake, but I didn't know it was coming out next year. So, steak sauce. I agree. Good God. Here it is. I have received a lot of damaged packages in my day. This one absolutely takes the cake. This one was absolutely destroyed. It was in a bubble mailer, so it had some protection. The bubble mailer was like flattened. It looked like it had been rolled over. There was like a big black like skid mark on it, like it had been ran over by some kind of vehicle. I've never received a Blu-ray or a DVD this destroyed in my life. I mean, this thing is absolutely just destroyed. Destroyed. And it's a shame because this is a beautiful release. The slipcase is the slipcase looks brand new compared to the actual case, but the slipcase is kind of, kind of bent and flat and a little jacked up too. But the slipcase compared to the regular case is brand spanking new. But I mean, just look at that. I mean, look how beautiful that is. It's not, the lighting's not that great in here, but at the moment at least. But I mean, that's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful, beautiful release that the USPS absolutely just obliterated. Oh my God. Now the disc appears to be fine. Like the disc, the disc is in great shape. Doesn't have a scratch on it. I was checking to see if maybe it was warped. Nope. The disc looks to be in perfect shape. The case is mangled beyond anything I've ever seen as far as getting. I've had Blu-rays and DVDs shipped to me in just a regular envelope with no not a regular envelope, but like a small manila envelope with no packaging at all, no protection at all, and it's arrived in much better shape than this, which was in a bubble mailer. It's unbelievable. Yes, a moment of silence. Absolutely. Jeez, oh Pete. Movie Freak 2000. Tapiz, what do you think of Stranger Things? I've actually not sat down to watch Stranger Things season 3 yet. Because when I sit down to watch it, I'm going to just machine gun every single episode, and I didn't want to start and then leave halfway through to go to Texas and then wait. Wait to see the rest. So I will definitely sit and machine gun all of season 3. I actually heard there's some kind of backlash against season 3 because of tobacco use in the series, and like Netflix is saying now that they're never going to they're doing no more smoking or tobacco use of any kind in any of their original programming. You know what I mean? Like, I don't advocate smoking, and I'm not a smoker, but geez, man. I don't know. All right, Mark, have a good one, man. Take care. I did see Danielle Harris. Jerpin, thank you for the $1.99 super chat, man. I appreciate that. I very, very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. I heard her saying that she wanted to be in whatever the next Halloween is, which I almost think, I mean, I don't think that's ever going to happen, but I almost think it would be cool because she would be, she's part of the Thorn trilogy universe. She's part of the Rob Zombie Halloween universe. And if she gets in like a Halloween 3 or Halloween, whatever the next Halloween's going to be, which is a direct sequel. Halloween 2018 is a direct sequel to the first movie. So the next movie will be what I'm trying to say is Danielle Harris will be in the original Halloween universe, the trilogy, the Thorn trilogy universe, and the Rob Zombie Halloween universe. She will be in 3 different Halloween universes if she can get into the next Halloween movie. That I think would be cool, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Onward to Dystopia. Hello, how are you tonight, man? Evil Dead, Mike. Yeah, I did actually heard that Sam Raimi is quote unquote there was some quote from Sam Raimi that they're kicking around ideas or something for a new Evil Dead. Am I going to get the Blair Witch game when it releases? Yeah, probably. It's only going to be on Xbox, which, I mean, I've got an Xbox, but I don't know. I hate those. I hate the exclusives, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll probably pick it up. I thought the little teaser, whatever for it, was interesting. Lucas Fonseca. Oh, I guess you're talking about the Black Christmas remake. Yeah, heard about that. Friday the 13th near Christmas. Yes. How's the Pro Bluegrass? It's I've been to a lot of different states, and when you're driving around, you notice the grass in different states. And I have to say, the Kentucky Bluegrass is seriously the prettiest grass I've seen. So, yeah. So you like season 3 the best, Movie Freak? Onward to Dystopia. You watched City of the Living Dead, aka Gates of Hell. Yes, I actually rewatched that movie for the first time in a few years. A couple of weeks ago. Good movie. It's my favorite Fulci. Well, I don't know. I go back and forth between it and Zombie. But I need to rewatch From Beyond again because it's been a while since I've seen From Beyond. Jan-Man Chronicles, AJ, what's up, man? How are you? You know what? I agree with you. Well, like they're already talking about season 4 of Stranger Things. And, season 3, I mean, a 3 is a good number to end on. You know what I mean? You had the beginning, the middle, and the end. But because it's so popular and because it's making money and because Netflix is losing so much stuff to other streaming services, they want to keep people around. So, I mean, they're just going to ride the Stranger Things train until the wheels come off. And, 11 is number 11. There's 10 other special kids out there with powers. So at what point do we jump from 11 to number 4 and see what their special power is and do a couple of seasons with them, and then we jump to number 9 and see what kind of special powers they have? And you know what I mean? I hate it when a good series overstays its welcome, i.e. The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Go out on top. There's something about going out on top. There's something about, you had 3 seasons, you told a good story. It's the beginning, the middle, the end. Go out on top. Don't go out with a bang, not a whimper. I'm still here just commenting on your... Destroyed Blue... Okay. Well, nice to have you hanging out with us tonight, Mark. Appreciate that. You hope there's another Evil Dead sequel, Mike. So, Malek, you're not a fan of Stranger Things. I did not know there was a Target exclusive Jaws board game. I was actually in a Target just the other night. But I had no idea there's a Target exclusive Jaws board game. B-Movie Archives, what's up? How are you tonight? Kentucky's kind of dank. It has its dank moments, Orc. The Smoky Mountains, yes. Beautiful, beautiful country. How was meeting Stingray? He was very cool. Very cool. It's actually a funny story because we were going to meet at a restaurant, and I put the restaurant's name into my GPS. It popped right up. So drove to that restaurant, and I'm waiting for Stingray to show up, and he doesn't show up. And, we were supposed to meet at 7, 7:10, 7:15. 7:20, no Stingray. I've got no service inside, so I walk outside and I start texting him, and I'm like, hey, we're inside, and he goes, well, you're inside, so am I. Where are you? And this is not a big restaurant, mind you. And I go, we're just right inside. And he goes, well, I'm walking around looking for you and I can't find you. And this is a small restaurant. So, I mean, literally you walk from here to here, you've seen the entire restaurant. So then, of course, it dawns on me, are there two of these places? Turns out there is. He was at one, I was at the other. But eventually, he made his way to where I was, which was luckily not very far away. And we hung out for a little bit that night. I posted some pictures on Instagram and Facebook. And then the next morning we had breakfast. We hung out and had breakfast. And yeah. So, but yeah, very cool to meet Stingray. I've met Stingray and I've met B-Movie Mike. So one of these days, if I'd been in Texarkana a day earlier, I might have been able to meet Eric from the show, because he works somewhere in Arkansas, but he was actually leaving the day that I was going to be there. So do you think there will be 2 Halloweens in 2020 like rumored? Part of me thinks that's a good idea, and then part of me thinks that they'll never do that, because I mean they'll be competing with each other. Unless you I don't know. Part of me thinks that could be a good idea, and then part of me thinks that could just be completely, a recipe for disaster. So I don't know. Don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, I can't imagine if they released them at exactly the same time. If they released one and then released the other one, I don't know. If they released one at the beginning of the month and then released another one at the end of the month, maybe. But I mean, still, they're going to be, competing kind of with each other. I don't know. It just seems very problematic, particularly if they schedule releases for these two movies and then there's some kind of issues where they have to go back and do reshoots, and I don't know. It could be the recipe for a disaster. You thought City of the Living Dead was great. Good fun, lots of atmosphere. Tons and tons of... I love the atmosphere in City of the Living Dead. It's so just nightmarish and grim, and then you've got all the gore, and it's like a 90-minute nightmare. I love it because of that. Is any word from Peter Bracchi on his new book he's been mentioning for some time now? I know he's working on it. I know he's, I don't remember how much he said he's got done of it, but I know he's working on it. It's going to be an extensive book, just like Crystal Lake Memories is. So, I mean, it'll probably take some time to, compile everything that he wants to put in the book, and then, edit it down, and, but I'm sure once it does hit shelves or Amazon or wherever, it'll be worth it. How was the Texas gas station, Jim Smith? It was awesome. I'm actually wearing a shirt that I bought from the Texas gas station. Got Grandpa there on it, holding his hammer. It's hammer time. It was very, very cool. Very, very cool. And inside the gas station is just it's like tons and tons of collectibles, not just like Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw Massacre figures, but just tons of collectible figures inside, and just lots and lots of stuff to look at. The barbecue was good. Yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed the gas station. And And again, I've got tons of footage, tons of photos. I'm going to be editing all that together tomorrow into a video, and I'll post it. I think I'm going to separate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre locations and the Town That Dreaded Sundown locations into 2 different videos. And but I'll have the Friday the 13th. I'll have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre locations up first. But yeah, if you're ever in Bastrop, Texas, the gas station's a cool place to visit. A very cool place to visit. And if you're ever in Kingsland, the Grand Central Cafe, which is the house that, the Sawyer House, is a great place to visit too. Great restaurant. Oh my God, the food was so good. So good. And the staff are awesome. They were so accommodating of me because they saw that I was such a huge fan that I literally just ran around that place. They're there serving food, taking orders. There's people everywhere, and they're absolutely fine with me running around, filming, taking pictures, and acting like a kid in a candy store. They were really cool about it. So Steak Sauce, not a fan of Stranger Things. Mike, I agree with you about The Simpsons, but at the same time, I can't imagine living in a world without The Simpsons on TV. I've not watched The Simpsons in years, but now there were several seasons where, The Simpsons were just, without doubt, the best television, the funniest, the most well-written, just the best television, period. Whatever was on at that time, The Simpsons were better. I tuned out many, many, many seasons ago. But again, I don't know. It'll be a very sad day when The Simpsons go off. The Walking Dead should have ended after Terminus. Yeah, The Walking Dead should have ended seasons ago. I don't even remember what season Terminus was, because they all just kind of beyond the first 3 seasons, they all just blend together to me. I can't decipher one from the other. It's like they're all exactly the same. Rob Stanley, I noticed you visited Texarkana. What was the overall vibe of the place while being there? The overall vibe was deserted. That is a very small town that a lot of small towns are old towns, meaning that not a lot changes as far as, the buildings and Main Street and whatnot. They'll slap a new coat of paint on it, but it's still, it's small towns are old towns. Texarkana, on the Texas side where they shot a lot of the movie, is an old town, a very old town that just kind of felt abandoned. It was a Saturday afternoon. We were running around there between 3 and 5 p.m. and it was a ghost town. A ghost town. The main street was beautiful. It was a lot of the old buildings, I'm sure, from, when the real Phantom Killer was running around, when they were shooting the movie, and they're still there. They still look probably just about the same, but they're all kind of abandoned. They're all in a state of decay. The actual shooting locations where they shot, like the police station and the train station and the hotel, are just, they're fossils. You'll see when I post the video. They're still there, which is cool, but they're just, how much longer they're going to stand, I don't know. It's sad because one of the main areas they shot the movie in is just, back in the day, I'm sure it was beautiful. This beautiful large building, and beautiful windows, and just and it's just all gone to pot. But yeah, it's just a very small town. It seemed like a very poor town. Just not a lot of people there. Yeah. What is my take on the Terminator director's comments about his female lead and that it will have misogynist trolls shaking in their boots? I think Tim Miller's a scared man. I think it is a preemptive strike against critics of the movie. Listen, it was the news came out like just a day or two before all this happened that they were doing massive reshoots on Terminator Dark Fate. So it's no coincidence that Tim Miller and the media jumped to start throwing around buzzwords like misogynists and trolls and pushing this, if you don't love this movie, then you're a fill in the blank narrative. So and again, keep in mind too, this movie doesn't come out till November. So when they're already attacking fans, when they're already, throwing around these buzzwords and trying to rabble rouse, whatever, for a movie that's still months and months away from release, this thing's got to be like Battlefield, whatever. What was the John Travolta Scientology movie? Battlefield Earth. It's got to be like Battlefield Earth bad. If they're coming out this many months before the movie's release to start attacking fans and throwing those buzzwords around there and propagating that narrative, it's got to be real freaking bad. Real freaking bad. That's right. We do have Jim Cornette here in Kentucky. Steak sauce. Jim Cornette should be like our state representative in Congress. That's funny, Malek. You own all the... No, I don't own all the Halloween masks. I've got a couple of different part 1s. I've got like 3 different part 2s. One of which is signed by Dick Warlock. I got a really cool Warlock Halloween 2 mask. I got a Halloween 6 mask. And that's it. The First Power 84. What's up, man? Hey, Piz, I live 30 minutes from Pasadena, California, so every October I visit the Myers house and stock the neighborhood that Michael did. Very cool. Yeah, my girlfriend and I were talking about, she was like, so what, what locations are we going to go visit next? Where was Halloween? Was Halloween in California? I was like, yeah, that'll be a long road trip. But that would be cool. I would love to go and visit, the shooting locations of Halloween. Where's B-Movie Mike these days? Let's see. Where'd that question go? B-Movie Mike, B-Movie Mike's just handling his real life. You know what I mean? And he did say that, there was a really good chance that he'll be back next season. So I hope so. I'll miss B-Movie Mike. B-Movie Mike is kind of like, I was going to say he's kind of like the anchor of the show. But actually, I think B-Movie Mike and Jay the Stingray are our dual anchors when it comes to the show. And of course, Orc is the heart and soul of the Sausage Factory. So there you go. Smokey De Niro, what's up, man? We need Jason now. Not going to happen, man. It's going to be a long time. AP, has any news on the Friday lawsuit? The last thing that happened I heard was there was a motion entered by Sean Cunningham and team that would basically, whoever lost would have to pay the legal fees for the winner. So if Victor Miller lost, he would be stuck paying Sean Cunningham's legal fees. So this was a motion entered, hopefully to kind of, scare Victor Miller into backing off or cutting some kind of deal or something. I don't know. But the judge threw that out. So, I mean, now we're looking at 2020 before they go back to court, and even then, I mean, with delays and this and that and the other, it's gonna be a while. European, thank you for another $1.99 super chat, and a shout out to B Movie Mike. Yes, shout out to B Movie Mike. So it's just gonna be a while. It's just gonna be a while. No new Friday the 13th for a while. I agree. First Power. Keep the new Halloween dark, serious. We don't need any comedy. Unless it's like the cops from Halloween 5 with the circus music that follows them. Now, I would go for that. Let's have some cops in the new Halloween, some bumbling, just dunderheaded cops, and wherever they go, whenever they're on screen, circus music accompanies them. That's what I want in the next 2 Halloween movies. I completely agree with you, Onward to Dystopia. I completely agree with you. I love Halloween. I love Black Christmas, the originals. I really don't want to see a remake of Black Christmas. You know what I mean? Leave it alone and come up with something new and original. But the problem with that is new and original doesn't make money. Look at Hellfest. It didn't make money, or it didn't make enough money to where people stood up and took notice. Look at Midsummer. Midsummer was hailed by critics, but nobody went and saw it in the theater. So, new horror is not selling. It's the same thing across the board. You know what I mean? Everything is a remake or a reboot of a remake or a re-reboot, or, you know what I mean? Or, instead of, let's basically make the exact same movie. Let's just change the lead from a male to a female, and it'll be completely different. You know what I mean? But even with those movies, I mean, the box office is down this summer. Even with those movies, you know what I mean? The new Godzilla movie underperformed. The new Men in Black movie completely tanked. You know what I mean? So even like, the reboot sequel stuff, people seem to be tired of that. But I mean, God, I would love for something original from the horror side of things to come along. That's why, I've not seen Crawl yet, but, and I've kind of steered away from looking at reviews or reading reviews or listening to reviews of Crawl before I go and see it. But I really hope Crawl is good. You know what I mean? And that it makes a lot of money. Not that we haven't seen nature runs amok flicks before, you know what I mean, with killer sharks and killer bears and killer bees and killer frogs and, killer wolves, you name it. But because it's not a remake, it's not a reboot, it's not a sequel, you know what I mean? Will you watch Scream Resurrection on VH1? Probably not, honestly. Probably not. I know that the Scream television series from whenever it came out, I know a lot of people really liked it and they recommended me to watch it, but I don't know. I've been intending to go back and rewatch all of the Scream movies for a series of Scream reviews, but I've just not gotten around to sitting down and actually watching those. But I still intend to. Top 5 TV shows of all time, Piers. Not in general, in your opinion. Goodness. The Simpsons would definitely be there. The X-Files would be there. The Office would be there. Jeez. Now, and keep in mind, I don't watch a lot of television. I just don't watch a lot of television. Let's see. Gosh. Seems like there's at least one more that I'm completely spacing on. But definitely Simpsons, definitely X-Files, definitely The Office. Can I count USA Up All Night? Because that might be actually number one if I can count USA Up All Night. Because like the X-Files is, I think the X-Files is the first show that I recall that, you know what I mean, I like cleared my schedule for. I was in front of the TV and watching that show. Now after about probably the third or fourth season, I completely tuned out and just never tuned back in. But yeah, I loved that show for several seasons. And there's up to a certain point in The Simpsons where I've seen like every episode of seasons 1 through, I don't know, like multiple times. In The Office, I mean, I've seen The Office, every episode of The Office multiple times too. So, trying to think. There seems like there's a couple of other shows that I'm just kind of blanking on. I agree, Jerpian. I really want a new horror icon to take over in 2020. But I mean, I don't know what's on the horizon horror wise. A new Candyman movie? You know what I mean? And actually the director of the new Candyman movie actually made some comments in the media talking about how the movie was going to attack toxic fandom. Why are you covering toxic fandom in a Candyman movie? You know what I mean? You've not even began shooting this movie and you're already talking about toxic fandom, and the movie is going to address toxic fandom. Does a Candyman movie need to address toxic fandom? What is going on here? Favorite zombie movie? Day of the Dead. The Romero Day of the Dead. Jamed, you were born in Texarkana. It's not a thriving, growing town now, man. You know, it was really cool to see it because it was really cool to be there because, I mean, you know, I'm sure very little has changed in that town since the real Phantom Killer was doing his thing there. So, I mean, you know, stomping around that town, you know, I remember I turned to my girlfriend more than once and I was like, this is the town that dreaded sundown. But it's like, it's 3:00. So it's, there's nobody around. So it's like, this is the town that dreaded, you know, afternoon now. You know what I mean? They don't even wait to dread sundown. They've like dreaded early afternoon. You know what I mean? So at 3:00, the streets are empty. Nobody's out. You know what I mean? It was funny because we were actually in a Whataburger in Texas just before we were about to cross over, or just before we were about to go into Texarkana on the Texas side. Probably, I don't know, maybe an hour or two from it. And I was wearing my Town That Dreaded Sundown shirt, and a woman walked up to me and goes, the Town That Dreaded Sundown. She goes, my grandmother lived in Texarkana, and she said, when I was growing up, that's all I ever heard. The town that dreaded sundown. And I really wish I would have picked her brain, been like, oh, really? Like what? Like, are they still fearful of sundown, or were they still fearful of sundown then? You know what I mean? But didn't happen. But I have not seen Baker County, USA, aka Trapped. Well, I actually didn't go out to any. Well, I went to I went to the park, Spring Lake Park, and that's where one of the murders happened. But now I didn't go to any far out kind of lovers lanes or anything like that. I just kind of stuck to the town and the park area. Do I have any theories on who the killer was or why in Texarkana? I know that like the preeminent historian for Texarkana at that time, he wrote a book about the Phantom Killer. He believes that it was a guy named what was his name? Something Sewell. Let me look it up here. Uni Sewell. Let me see. I forget what his name was. But this guy, the author of this book, he really believed that it was this guy. Let me see if I can find his name. The prime suspect. Where's his name? No, Sweeney. Sweeney was his name. Yes, that was his name. Sweeney. Yul Sweeney. Yeah, he's believed to be like the prime suspect. However, there was another guy who was he was a college student, and he committed suicide. And in his suicide letter, he took responsibility for either some of the killings or all of the killings. I don't remember. Now, there were some people who said that there was another suicide note where he was just like, yeah, but I was just joking about the Phantom Killer thing, which why would you write two suicide notes? I don't know. But this guy, let me see if I can find his name here. H.B. Duty Tennyson, 18-year-old freshman at the University of Arkansas. Yeah, he wrote, why did I take my own life? Well, when you committed 2 double murders, you would too. Yes, I did kill Betty Jo Booker and Paul Martin in the city park that night, and killed Mr. Starks and tried to kill Mrs. Starks. So he takes responsibility for those 2 murders, or 3 murders, and the attempted murder of the other woman. However, let's see, what did it say? Tennyson had written many rough drafts of his suicide letter. He'd also created his own newspaper headlines mentioning his body being found. That's really odd. Officers said they also found a confusing note which they believed to contradict Tennyson's other notes, but were unsure when it was written. This note read, "Please disregard all other messages which I have written. They are only thoughts which I was thinking about as possible reasons for taking my own life." So I don't know, that's just odd to me. But at the same time, I think that this guy, this Tennyson guy, his family were pretty powerful in Texarkana at the time. So there might have been something of a cover up there. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know why you would write multiple suicide notes with one like contradicting the other. I don't know, that's kind of strange. Sasha, hello. Hey, dude, belated bloody birthday wishes. Hope you had a great one in Texas. Thank you, Sasha. I did. I had a very, very, very nice birthday in Texas. Get on a plane. Well, I've never flown. My girlfriend is afraid of flying, so yeah. We've been on so many long road trips, though, that I mean, this was the longest, but driving to us isn't that bad. I completely agree with you, Mark. I completely agree. I think the Terminator franchise should be put to rest. And Fast and the Furious, you know what I mean? That series has just gone off into criminal levels of goofiness and silliness. That's where I'm afraid that the John Wick series is going to go off into those levels of just complete goofiness if it goes on. And I really hope that it doesn't. All right, Sasha, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I actually just watched the 3 from Hell trailer before I started this live stream. I thought it looked all right. I'm not like super hyped for it or anything, but I mean, I'll check it out eventually. Hey, Caniac. How you doing tonight? I actually talked about that a little bit earlier, Sasha. I don't know how I feel about Halloween sequels being filmed back to back and released in the same month. Part of me thinks that might be interesting, but part of me thinks that there's no way they would do that because they would be ultimately competing with each other. And I don't know, it could be the recipe for disaster. Yeah, I liked Hellfest. I liked Hellfest 2 steak sauce. And I really liked Happy Death Day also. I've not seen Happy Death Day 2 though. So don't know about that one. You'll love Crawl? Cool. Might try and go see that tomorrow or the next day if I can sneak out to like an early matinee or something. I'm also very excited for The Lighthouse, Charlie. Very excited. My buddy Lauren is here. What's up, Lauren? How you doing tonight, man? Oh, that's right, Malek. Don't you live in Louisiana? Or near there? I know we got caught in a lot of rain on the way back, driving through, let's see, where were we driving through? Driving through Arkansas. We got hit with a lot of rain. A lot of rain. At times, like just complete downpour. Like you could barely see the road for the rain. So that was something else that was kind of in the back of our minds as far as, trying to beat, Barry. So that there were other things I wanted to do on the trip that I just didn't have time for because, we kind of felt like we were, we wanted to get out of there before Barry unleashed his wrath on the area. Oh, Sons of Anarchy. Yes, I really liked Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if I'd put it as like in my top 5 or what have you. But I really liked Sons of Anarchy. Alex Nowak, how are you tonight? Don't know when we'll get together for that show, DJ, but probably not before too long. Probably actually, I don't know, in August or something, we'll do like a end of summer show. Game Over is the best genre film of the year, and it has my favorite final girl ever. I would like to see Game Over, Lauren. Max Punishment's here. Hello, Max. How are you tonight? I did see that, Caniac. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Caniac? Actually, I'd thought about going up to Falk while I was in Arkansas, Falk is only about 20 or 30 miles away from Texarkana, but just didn't have time. The town that dreaded commerce. Jeremy didn't go on the trip, DJ. I think that was a little bit too long of a trip for Jeremy. All right, Movie Freak, take care. Have a good night. Did you like the Town That Dreaded Sundown remake? No, I really didn't like it. I thought the setup was interesting. I've actually thought about going back and revisiting that movie, but I did not like it the first time I saw it. Thought it was a really interesting setup, just not great execution wise. Gangsta John wanting me to say his name. Okay, well, Gangsta John, there you go. There you go, my friend. But yeah, I did see that The Legend of Boggy Creek is getting remastered in 4K. Yes. And I really would like to see that when it does. My buddy Bad Raven, Steve, has given a $5 super chat. Hey, Piz, great to hear you got to go see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre locations. I'm happy for you. I know how much you love the movie. That is correct. Yes. It was really cool. Really cool going to see those locations. The Graveyard was really cool too, which I did a live stream from the Graveyard when I was there. So, really interesting graveyard. That one. Very interesting. Very old. Very, very old. So not a fan of John Wick, Malek. Yeah, I know they're making John Wick 4 already. I don't, that's another one, I know those movies are very popular. I know they make a lot of money, but, there's something about quitting while you're ahead, I think. And I really hope that this series just doesn't get sillier and sillier as it goes on. Just got back from Crawl. It's lots of fun. Not terribly original or groundbreaking, but lots of fun. It feels like one long extended Spielberg suspense sequence. Cool. I'll take that. I'll take that. What are random few horror movies that you would list as the Mount Rushmore of horror? As far as importance for the genre, not necessarily quality. Definitely Texas Chainsaw Massacre would be there. Halloween would be there. Night of the Living Dead would be there. Probably Psycho. Although I do think they need a little spot for Peeping Tom in there also. But thank you for that super chat, Steven. I appreciate that, man. Keanu Reeves is the new Chuck Norris. That's true. Hey, that's true, man. He is the new Chuck Norris. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Peeping Tom. I need to rewatch Peeping Tom myself. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But, that's one that doesn't get a lot of credit. Yeah, I agree with you, Lauren. I think I would prefer to see something new and different and maybe even experimental that fails as opposed to, you know, paint by numbers, you know what I mean, kind of horror stuff. You know what I mean? Remakes, reboots. I'm really afraid that we're getting into a new cycle of, you know what I mean? We survived the first remake cycle. Seems like we're kind of going right back into it, unfortunately. More tolerable. I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer, The Hitcher Part 2. I've not seen I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I have seen The Hitcher 2, and that's an awful movie. I've not been watching any of the new Joe Bob's Last Drive-Ins. I tried to watch the very first one they did where there were all those technical issues, and it was unwatchable. And I've just not been around to watch any of the other ones. So most realistic death in a slasher movie. Jeez. Man, that's a good question. I don't know. The one that used to freak me out the most as a kid was the very first, well, not the very first kill, but the what's the name of the woman? She's the Mrs. Voorhees kills her. Well, not first. She gets in the Jeep with Mrs. Voorhees, and Mrs. Voorhees chases her through the woods and then cuts her throat. Like the first time I saw that as a kid, that effect really, I was just like, whoa, that looked so real. And it just looked, that one just, I don't know, that one had a weird effect on me, that it looked so real. Of course, you see it now in Super HD. I mean, you can see that the appliance on her neck is a different color from the rest of her neck. And you know what I mean? You know how it's done. So, I mean, that takes away a lot of the magic. Oh, Kaniak, she's doing very well. She's almost made a 100% recovery. So she's doing really well. She's back to doing pretty much everything that she was able to do before the fall. So she's doing a lot better. But thank you for asking. Will you get the Pet Sematary remake? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I liked that movie when I saw it in the theater. You know what I mean? It's one of those, though, that, I mean, at this point now, I think I've forgotten a good chunk of it. I mean, it's not really something that I would want to own. You know what I mean? Like, I liked the new Child's Play movie when I saw it in the theater. I've forgotten most of it, but it's not the kind of movie that I would own. You know what I mean? Do the dab. No, not going to dab. Not going to dab. It has Onward to Dystopia. Remakes, torture porn. Then we got into like reboots. Now we're going like back into remakes and just, ugh. Hey, Verisimilitude, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. The Prowler, the shower scene with the pitchfork. That's a very good one. I also really like the one right before that where he stabs the guy with the long knife and it goes like through the top of his head down into, the bottom of his jaw. and like his eyes roll over white, and he's like struggling with the thing. And that one was another one that jumped to mind when I thought of that. When I read the question, that was that was another kill in a slasher movie that jumped to mind. That I don't know about realistic, but just how it was done and how it was acted out is really cool. Why doesn't Pieces ever get talked about? That's a good question. It should be talked about constantly. I love that movie. Love me some Pieces. Love it, love it, love it. The first horror movie you see as a kid often still is more scary than it should be even into adulthood. And that's true. It was a very nasty fall. A very nasty fall. She broke her right ankle almost to the point of it being like a compound fracture. Like the bone was right there about to pop out. Luckily it didn't. And then she broke a toe on her left foot and fractured a bone in her left foot. So she did it good. Lauren has broadened his horizons to horror from abroad. Horror, American horror has been mediocre. So he's broadened his horizons. And he's discovered a lot of horror flicks from countries like Turkey. A lot of stuff I want to see. I just, don't have access to. Yes, Savini's work in just about everything looked really good. I remember watching Halloween 2 with my mother when I was a little kid. And the scene where Ben Tramer gets hit by the cop car and pinned up against, is it a van or is it an ambulance? I don't remember. And it bursts into flames and you see him pinned against it burning. That really freaked me out as a kid. Thoughts on Scary Movie 1 and 2? I don't remember much of either one of those. I remember liking Scary Movie 1, years and years and years ago when I saw it, or at least thinking it was, pretty amusing. But I don't really remember anything about it now. Favorite nature run amok movie? Gotta be Jaws. But I also love Slugs. We're talking about Pieces, another Juan Becer Simone film. Slugs, great stuff. Piranha, love Piranha. Love Alligator. Even love Alligator 2. Love Tobe Hooper's Crocodile. Frogs. There's a lot of good nature runs amok movies. The German synchro of Pieces is legendary. I did not see J.J. Abrams' comments about him not giving an F about what anyone thinks about Episode 9 of Star Wars. That's, you know what I mean? That's always good when you've got like people making movies that have enormous fan bases and they're literally saying, I don't care about these fans. I don't care what they think about this movie that I'm making. I could care less. You know what I mean? This is, Star Wars, it's literally it's got to have the biggest fanfare of any series of movies ever. And you've got the guy directing a really pivotal entry in the series. And he's just like, don't care about what the fans think. Could care less what anyone thinks. But I'm sure if you don't like that movie, you're going to be called all sorts of things. Troll, sexist, racist, God knows what. Most of the Turkish horror films are available on YouTube with subs. I'll have to make a list. More memorable killer, prom night or graduation day? I'd have to go with prom night. I agree with that statement, Balek. Kingdom of the Spiders. It's been a while since I've seen Kingdom of the Spiders. Borderline 11 OG. What's up, man? How are you? Well, thanks for stopping in before bed. Appreciate that. Arachnophobia. Yes, that's a good one, Charlie Varick. Yes, love arachnophobia. I may have to. I don't know if I'm sure I've seen Kingdom of the Spiders. I just don't. Just doesn't ring a bell. Star Wars is dead after the travesty. That definitely hurt it. The remake versions of Joker and Pennywise are outright obvious bad guys without the psychopathic absence of perception or concern about the horrific things they are doing with the juxtaposition. Well said. Thoughts on Jacob's Ladder remake? Ah, geez, that's another one. Like, why? Why, God? I saw the trailer for that, and geez. That looked bad. That looked so bad. I do like Mars Attacks, DJ. I do like that movie. I'm sure I've seen Kingdom of the Spiders. I just don't remember it. If it's got Shatner in it, I'll have to go give it a rewatch. See the trailer for Itsy Bitsy? No, I've not. I don't think I've heard of Itsy Bitsy. Let's look into Itsy Bitsy. Itsy Bitsy. Giant spider horror movie. Okay. Should I? Who's releasing it? I'm tempted to watch the trailer, but even with the audio, depending on who's releasing it, I could get like a copyright strike. Or not a copyright strike, but like a copyright claim against the video. Comes out in August. Oh, Oh, it's coming out. Is it coming straight to Blu-ray? Let's see, it's a Scream Factory. You met Shatner at Days of the Dead last week. Cool. Do you think at any point you can see yourself giving up on remakes when they are very few original coming out? I mean, I think a big part of me's already given up on remakes. Now, some of them I'll go watch, but, you know, I hated when the remake thing was first happening, I hated that they were just making these they're basically making inferior movies with, like, you know, brand names on them. You know, it's kind of like you're getting Great Value soda, but with Coke on the can. You know what I mean? That was the, you know what I mean, fill in the blank remake as far as I was concerned. Even the good remakes, I mean, they were inferior to their namesake. So I think a part of me already gave up on them. And you know, as a horror fan, you know, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of horror fans, we live in the past. So, I mean, even if nothing new is coming out of worth, we can always go back to the past and rewatch the greats. You know, like, I have no desire to watch a Jacob's Ladder remake. I really have no desire to watch a Black Christmas remake, but I can see myself going and maybe watching it in theaters just for, you know, whatever, just out of morbid curiosity. But most of the remakes I just have no desire to see. Silent Madness 3D. I don't think I covered that one in a File 13. Let me look it up. Silent Madness 3D. Oh my God. I have seen that cover art, but no, I don't think I've seen the movie. Is it available anywhere? It says it's on YouTube. Let's see. Is it on YouTube? It's on YouTube. Oh man, this looks good. Somebody just got, hold on here. Somebody just got a... Oh, this looks good. Oh, this is good. Oh my God. I've got it. Okay. Oh my God. And that 3D. Man. Oh my God. That, my friends, was quality 3D. Okay, I've got to bookmark this. Let me bookmark this movie. I'm going to have to watch it later. This is right up my alley. The killer just threw like a hatchet into this woman's back, and the 3D was like some Jaws 3 kind of 3D. Oh man, this is going to be good. Thank you for throwing Silent Madness out there at me. Oh goodness, yes, that'll be a good one to watch. Thank you, Charlie. I've not seen Crawl yet, Defile. Maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll get around to it. I'm really looking forward to chapter 2 too. Verisimilitude. Crawl is in your top 3 of the year. Cool. A Jaws remake. You know what? I mean, thank God. That's one of the few. I'm almost shocked that at least, you know, I'm shocked that Jaws did not get the remake treatment. But thank God it didn't. Silent Madness is actually pretty dull. Not the few minutes of it that I saw just then, but that was just a few minutes. And the 3D notoriously did not work. I can see that. I agree with you on Mandy. Onward. I agree with you. Randall Beatty. What's up, man? How you doing? Everything's going well here. Horrorhound85. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Piers, what do you think is the most criminally underseen or underappreciated horror movie that is a great horror movie? Good one. Jeez. Oh, man. That's a good question. That's a tough one. I'm going to have to think about that one. Well, I mean, I guess I'd have to throw Peeping Tom out there. Also, this isn't a horror movie, but this is a movie that I've really wanted to revisit for a long time, and that's Picnic at Hanging Rock. Not a horror movie, but that one just comes to mind. That's one that I really want to revisit. But I'm thinking here, if there's anything else. I don't know. That's a good question, man. I have to put some thought into that one. That's a good question, though, AJ. Have you ever seen Creature from the Black Lagoon? One of my fave Bigfoot films. I have seen Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's been a while. Creature from Black Lake. I'm sorry. No, I've never seen Creature from Black Lake. I'm sorry. A little tired. A lot of driving over the past few days. Creature from Black Lake. Let me look that up. I don't think I've seen that one. And it is on YouTube. So I think I will. Think I might bookmark this one too. One movie that I think definitely does not get the recognition that it deserves and is very underseen and underappreciated is Exorcist 3. I would put The Exorcist 3 like right up there with the original Exorcist. And of course, everybody always talks about The Exorcist, which is a great movie. But I think The Exorcist 3 is a great movie too. Just Before Dawn's, yeah, I love Just Before Dawn. Yeah, that's another one that needs to be seen more. Could a Frat Night 3 with William Ragsdale work? I don't know. Probably. I would never say never. I mean, if Tom Holland came back, sure. I would watch it. I was thinking about a Frat Night 2 Blu-ray today. I was walking around a used bookstore today in the horror section. And just, Frat Night 2 popped up in my head. And I'm like, why do we still not have a Frat Night 2 Blu-ray? I thought the 3 from Hell trailer was okay, Randall. I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it. Jaws hasn't been remade because Spielberg sends death threats to those who try. That's true. That's true. Oh yeah, I really liked House of the Devil. Onward. Yes. Night of the Hunter. Sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen that one or not. Night of the Hunter. It's the yeah. With what's his name in it? Yeah. It's like the didn't Cape Fear. Cape Fear is like a remake of it, right? Robert Mitchum. Yes. Robert Mitchum. That's who I was trying to think of his name. I couldn't think of his name for some reason. Martin's very good. I agree. Martin is very good. Yes, Exorcist 3. Yes. I think just unfortunately it was called The Exorcist 3. And, you know, after Exorcist 2, nobody wanted anything named, nobody wanted anything Exorcist after Exorcist 2. So, I think that was part of its problem. Um, Morgan Creek at that time was kind of, you know, I heard a quote about Morgan Creek. It might have been in conjunction with The Exorcist 3 that you can sit across the street from Morgan Creek's offices or office or whatever, and watch the souls of the damned walk in and out of there all day. That was a quote that somebody said in regards to Exorcist 3. Borderline 11 OG. The Hitcher is the ultimate underrated horror flick. Among horror fans, it's a classic. You know what I mean? It's a classic. Do I like Hell Night? Yeah, of course. Yes. Neon Maniacs. I love Neon Maniacs. Love Neon Maniacs. Did not buy anything from the Criterion sale, Alex. Nope, sure didn't. Because what punishment would you deal out to a burglar who you just found in your man cave trying to take your most prized piece? Well, I've got 2 guns. I own 2 guns. I'm trying to. What's the Tombstone quote? I've got 2 guns, one for each of you. I am armed, and to protect my collection, I would unload on anyone down here trying to harm my collection. Unload. So, Rituals with Hal Holbrook. Don't know if I've seen that one. Gave up on Spielberg releasing a special edition of Poltergeist. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Hey Piz, have you seen Of course I've seen The Burning, Lori. I love The Burning. That's one of my favorite slasher movies. I think The Burning is an example of a perfect slasher movie. It's got it all. Got great characters, great dialogue, lots of fun, funny moments, great kills. Just, that movie's got it all. I agree, Mark. I agree. And I think that's proving true at the box office. So let's try some new stuff. Unfortunately, I think what they're going to do is, well, let's continue with these known series, but instead of we'll switch things up and we'll make it new. We'll change the lead from a male to a female, and it'll be change everything. That changes everything. Ah, very cool. Malek, you don't like The Burning? Jeez. Piers, what direction would you like to see the new Halloween take? I don't know. I was going to make a joke and say I hope they I was going to make a joke about Thorn and say that I hope that they go into some Thorn territory, but hopefully a good direction. Put it that way. Hopefully a good direction. You actually copped an official promo t-shirt for The Exorcist 3 from Etsy. Wow, hard to come by. Yeah, I bet. I bet that cost you a pretty penny too. The Jesus rolls into movie theaters in 2020? Really? They're making a movie about the Jesus? I didn't know that. Ah, Blood Rage. Yes. Love that one too. Love that movie. That's one that flew under my radar for a very, very long time. But man, good slasher. Here's the direction I'd like the new Halloween movie to take. Development hell. Yes, I've seen Southern Comfort. It's been a long time, but I've seen it. Worst experience I've ever had at a cinema. Well, watching Rob Zombie's Halloween was a bad experience. That was like a spiritual death, watching that movie. That was the most depressing movie-going experience of my life. But I've had some bad experiences with just horrible audiences. I think I've told this one before, but I was watching, I don't even remember what the movie was. I think it was called Deliver Us from Evil or something like that. And there was this kid in the theater with his like grandmother. And he's clearly freaked out by the movie. He's crying. He's begging his grandmother to take him away. And she's just sitting there watching the movie. Not even really trying to hush him up. No, could care less about anybody else trying to watch the movie and enjoy the movie. This, let alone us trying to watch and enjoy the movie. She could care less about her grandson, who is being scarred emotionally right beside her. Could care less because she's invested in this movie. She's dropped her $10 on this movie, which she saved months for, I'm sure. And she's not going to let that $10 go. She's not going to miss a second of this movie, and not a great movie anyway, to take this poor kid out of the theater so that he can stop being freaked out by this movie and crying and screaming and going on about this movie, but also to save the rest of us trying to watch and enjoy the movie. Finally, after God knows how long of this kid screaming and crying and begging, she gets him, takes him out of the theater. She comes back shortly thereafter without the kid and sits down, and the whole theater breathes a sigh of relief. A few minutes later, in walks the kid's mother with the kid. She stands like pretty much in front of the entire theater yelling for this woman. Mama, Mama, where you at? Mama, where you at? Mama, Mama. Gives the kid back to the grandmother because the mother is in another theater watching another movie that she doesn't want the kid there either the kid doesn't want to be there because he's freaked out by that movie, or she doesn't want the kid there because she wants to be kid free to enjoy this movie because the movie's more important to her than her freaking kid. Okay, that was a horrible movie going experience. That movie going experience, I think, gave me a social, it scarred me. It scarred me. I like have PTSD because of that. That's why I want to. If it's not like an early matinee for me, I just won't watch it. I've got like a social phobia now because of that. Just, ugh. Am I looking forward to the 2020s of horror movies? I don't even know what's coming out in the 2020s. Worst theater experience: The Dead Don't Die. Favorite poster I have autographed? Good question. Well, I don't know, man. I guess it would have to be my Friday the 13th poster because that's the one that I've got the most signatures on. But I also really love my Friday the 13th Part 5 poster because I've got a bunch of signatures on that one too. I've got my Romero signed Dawn of the Dead poster. Got my Carpenter signed Halloween poster. Got my Eric Freeman. I've got 2 Eric Freeman signed Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 posters. So I don't know. Hard to say which is my favorite. Greatest slasher. Defiled Affinity. That's a good. Well, I don't know about. I mean, I would probably have to go Chainsaw Massacre. Perfect slasher movie would either be. I think it'd be a tie between The Burning and Friday the 13th: The Final Chapter. Those are perfect slasher movies. Black Christmas remake was the worst movie going experience. I saw that in the theater too when it first came out. A nearly empty theater, like on opening weekend at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and it was empty. And yeah, I remember watching that movie, like walking out of that movie and being like, "Wow!" I felt embarrassed for that movie too. Honestly, I've softened quite a bit for that movie these days. I think that movie, it's got a great energy to it. I love the look of the movie. I love the colorfulness of the movie. But yeah. John Fulci Fan 101 or Josh Fulci Fan 101. What's up, man? He pissed out. What's up in the world of horror cinema? Unfortunately, remakes, reboots, remakes of movies that have already been remade, reboots of franchises that have already been rebooted, and unfortunately that's about it. What 10 titles do you think Scream Factory will announce at Comic-Con? Shout Factory is now working with Warner Brothers and Sony. I don't know. I would really hope that one of them is Fright Night 2. I do have some inside intel on a Scream Factory release. I don't know if they'll announce it at Comic-Con, but when they announce it, people are going to blow their tops. Okay? Big. It's big. It's huge. It's huge. But I cannot divulge any details. But when it's announced, you'll know. You'll know. Why take a kid to a horror movie? Good question. Good question. Am I looking forward to Halloween remake in 2024? Of course. Let's reboot it again. Instead of a direct sequel to the first movie, let's have a prequel. Let's have a prequel exploring Dr. Loomis's relationship with his mother. That's what I want. In the new Halloween. Once we get away from this new era Halloween remake, reboot, what have you, and we get into the reboot, Dr. Loomis and his mother. That's what I want. Nightwish. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with Nightwish, Lorne. Let me look it up here. Nightwish. There's a band called Nightwish. I see Imaginarium by Nightwish. Is that what you're talking about? For some reason, I was open to a Hellraiser remake if Barker was involved. Even though I love the original, some things about the original are sort of off key in a way, so I wouldn't hate an update. I think the Hellraiser that we're gonna get from David Goyer is gonna be woke. So Hellraiser's getting woke with David Goyer. We need Fade to Black on Scream Factory. That'd be cool. I like Fade to Black. Has Fade to Black got a DVD? Yeah, I think Fade to Black got a DVD release from Anchor Bay, didn't it? I know I had the old VHS, but let's see. Fade to Black DVD. No, not the Jay-Z. Yeah, Fade to Black got a DVD. Yeah. I think I might have it. I know I had the old VHS from Anchor Bay too. Maybe I've got the DVD also. I don't know. What? Roland, that cannot be the plot for the Jesus movie. Really? Hold on. That cannot be the plot for the Jesus movie. And of course, when I type in the Jesus movie, it pulls up a lot of movies about Jesus, but not the Jesus. Is it called the Jesus Bowling? What's it? John Turturro shares first look at his Big Lebowski sequel. Because John Turturro has started filming a movie centered on bowler Jesus Quintana. Okay, here's the plot. John Turturro plays Jesus Quintana in Going Places, a film about a trio of misfits whose irreverent, sexually charged dynamic evolves into a surprising love story as their spontaneous and flippant attitude towards the past or future backfires time and again, even as they inadvertently perform good deeds. What's going on here? When they make enemies with a gun-toting hairdresser, their journey becomes one of constant escape from the law, from society, and from the hairdresser, all while the bonds of their outsider family strengthen. Susan Sarandon also stars. There's no word if Jeff Bridges will reprise his role. as Lebowski. Okay. Okay. We need a Watchers Blu-ray. I used to love Watchers when I was a kid. You had a half-hour conversation with Dennis Christopher regarding Fade to Black earlier this month. Well, even if he is aware of it, he may not be able to say anything. Actually, an actor from a very well-known, as yet, I shouldn't say well-known, but an actor from a cult movie that has as yet gotten a DVD or Blu-ray release actually messaged me the other day and was like, hey, just a heads up, Blu-ray coming very, very soon. Don't tell anybody. So this will be a very cool Blu-ray release, I hope. Because it's a movie that's very long overdue. It's a movie with a big cult audience. It'll be cool. What was Jeremy's first introduction to horror films? Geez, that's a good question. Well, I mean, having me as a big brother, you know, that certainly made him aware of the players. So, I don't know. I don't know what would have been his true introduction, but his favorite, it's been his favorite for a long time, is Freddy Krueger. He loves Freddy Krueger. Fernando Carreras, Curtains is an awesome underrated movie. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Well, thank you, Fernando, all the way from Puerto Rico. Yes, Curtains. Yes, I like Curtains. You know, that scene on the ice with the killer in the old woman mask ice skating in slow motion, really freaky and cool. I'm looking forward to the 2028 Halloween prequel about how Dr. Loomis's ancestors were caught up in the witch trials of 16th century England. Now that I would watch that. No, Sasha, I've never heard of Antrim. Psycho Cop, that would be nice. I would love a Psycho Cop Blu-ray. I'm sure, you know, I really thought that Vinegar Syndrome, since they released part 2 on Blu-ray, and I thought it was the same guy owned both the rights to Psycho Cop and Psycho Cop 2, that, you know, they didn't work something out with him for Psycho Cop. I mean, I don't know, maybe they think there's not an audience for Psycho Cop on Blu-ray. I don't know. But, I mean, I would love Psycho Cop on Blu-ray. I've not seen The Haunted, AJ. Top 3 horror films. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween and Friday the 13th. There you go. The Haunted from 91. I don't know if I've seen The Haunted from 91. So it's kind of like a prequel. It's kind of like the original Conjuring then, huh? Let me see. Is it on? It's on YouTube. So I will... that one's really poor quality. Let's just try the other one. This one's kind of poor quality too. I'll bookmark it. The Stand, yes, is getting a Blu-ray. Yes, I did hear about that, Roland. How are you doing, by the way, Roland? McGarris did not even know it was happening. Well, cool. That's cool. It's getting a Blu-ray. Cursed horror film Antrim. Let me look it up. Let's see. Antrim movie. Antrim, the deadliest film ever made. Really? What is this about here? A young boy and girl enter the forest to dig a hole to hell. Said to be a cursed film from the late 70s, Antrim examines the horrifying power of storytelling. That sounds really cool, actually. Is it available? Is it out? Let's check the official site of Antrim. Warning. Be advised, some images and material on the website are believed to be cursed. While the notion of a curse may be debated, this content has a history of triggering emotional distress and provoking physical or psychological danger. By entering this site, you agree that you are releasing else films of all liability associated with any true event following your viewing of Antrim. It is not recommended to view this content alone. Oh my God. Dare I? Guys, I tell you what, we're going to do this together, people. All right, here we go. Here we go. Antrim, you guys reading this disclaimer here? My God, we're in trouble. Should I don't know, I'm scared. Because if I click this, I'm releasing else films of all liability. So if I lose it, they're completely off the hook. It's on me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. What are you guys saying in the chat? I'm scared right now. Oh. Orca Zero, never got a chance to thank you for helping me get my Lost Boys poster signed. Horrorhound 2018 was a confusing mess. Glad you knew what was going on so you could help me, LOL. Well, thank you, Orca Zero. I'm glad that I could help. I'm glad that you got your Lost Boys poster signed. Frank Darabont's Buried Alive is quite good. Yes, is quite good. The Haunted only was crappy quality YouTube upload from a VHS. PS don't get cursed. Yes, I will be picking up the Arrow release of Alice Sweet Alice. I agree with you. That is a underrated gem. I agree with you. Leave it alone. Okay, click it. I'm willing to die. I wonder, okay, can I pass the curse on to you, Lorne? Okay. I did enjoy meeting Jay, BBQ Network. He was a very nice guy. Really enjoyed hanging out with him. The warning could be fake to scare you. I don't think so. I think this is real. I've not seen Crawl yet, Wes. I've not seen Crawl yet. Hoping to see it maybe tomorrow or the next day. All right, guys. Oh, man. All right, Jerpian, you said click it. Here we go. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Oh, thank God the video's unavailable. Thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, man, we just dodged a big one there, guys. Oh, God. Whew. What is this thing about? A note from the producers. This section seeks to clarify a few points about the film Antrim. Antrim was shot sometime in the late 70s, most likely somewhere in Southern California. Many people in the cinephile community believe Antrim is cursed, since it was closely tied to a number of disturbing incidents that had occurred in both the United States and Eastern Europe throughout the 1980s. Namely, a number of people have died or been seriously injured during or shortly after watching this film. My goodness. As a result of these incidents, Antrim disappeared or was deliberately buried by people who were apprehensive about its continued screening. Blah, blah, blah. It was in December 2014 that the Else Films film production company, owned and operated by Michael, blah, 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 found Antrim for sale on an online film forum. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. For further information, watch the extended interviews found on this site. This documentary convention by Elk examines the history of the film, explores expert interviews, and offers a technical investigation into the physical print of the film. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's see what press we've got here. Dread Central. If it's on Dread Central, you know it is absolutely 100% true and not clickbait. Educational resources. Legal issues with the film's release. Okay. Ooh. What's that? I'm not going to click on that. That's scary. That's scurry. All right. So the trailer. Okay. Whatever. I'm intrigued. I want to see it. I definitely want to see it. I wonder if the trailer is available on YouTube. Antrim trailer. Yep, here's something. The deadliest film ever made. The official selection. All right. I don't know if I should show the trailer or not on here. I didn't go to a convention, BBQ Network. I just went on vacation. Went to Texas, Arkansas, a few states in between. Went to the filming locations of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Town That Dreaded Sundown. DJ Donnelly, you've seen cursed videos on YouTube but nothing happened? You mean nothing has happened yet? Antrim is just a found footage movie made in 2018. You hope it's just a found footage movie. The trailer's cursed too. Oh my God. So everything associated with Antrim is cursed. This is freaking me out. I don't know if I can watch the trailer. I don't want to be cursed. You laugh at What About the Ring? It's a good movie. I liked it. But it was only a movie, right? It's only a movie. It's only a movie. It's only a movie. Meanwhile, I'm taking the toaster into the shower. Well, I mean, sometimes you want toast even while you're taking a shower. So there you go. There's been many a time when I've been in the middle of a shower and I think to myself, I could really go for some toast right now. Yeah. I've seen the "Are you still doing that hand" thing, Onward to Dystopia. What is the best home media version of Town That Dreaded Sundown? The Blu-ray, of course, from Stream Factory. The hand thing. Are you still? Hey Shay, are you still doing that hand thing? Heard you've been doing it all day. My hand's hurting, Shay. Good stuff. You believe in nothing, Lorne, and yet believing in nothing is still believing, right? So, there are no atheists in the foxhole, Lorne. And when you watch Atrium, no atheist will watch Atrium either. If you are an atheist, when you watch Atrium, that movie will give you religion. Because you'll be praying that it doesn't curse you. I know we were very close to well, actually we were very close to West Memphis. We were kind of right on the cusp of West Memphis because we had to take some back roads through Arkansas because of it was either road work or an accident, I don't remember. But we were really close to West Memphis, and I was thinking like, oh man, that would be interesting to drive through, but we didn't. No, the absence of belief does not make any positive claims, so it is not a belief. Okay. When you watch Antrim, Lorne, we'll see. I bet the very next time after you watch Antrim, whatever it's called, the next time I see you after that, Lorne, you'll have like a gold cross around your neck. You'll have like the good book in your hand. You'll be quoting scripture. Be born again, my friend. Born again. How long have we been going here tonight? Let's see. 2 hours. My goodness. 2 hours. I have not seen the announced July-August issue of Room Work. What's on it? What's in it? What's it about? Let me look it up here. Oh, it's the Boogeyman is back in Room Work. Jamie Lee Curtis. So they're just talking about... Oh, that's 2018. That's last year's issue. All right, here's the new one. A look back at Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Cool. I do want to see Mark Patton's documentary, Scream Queen. I really do. Mark Patton is one of my favorite Scream Queens. I'm not going to say the Q word because that could get me in trouble. I do like Nightmare on Elm Street too. You freaked a guy at work with the hand thing video. I'd come up behind him and ask if he was doing the hand thing. That's funny. You want to see Ghost Hunters on TSF next season? I don't think they wouldn't be on the episode very long because Lauren and I would be very they just wouldn't stick around long on that episode. They are making a movie about Momo, Charlie Varick. At least that's what I've heard. As a matter of fact, I think Jim Wynorski may be making a Momo movie. Let's look it up here. Because he's been posting a lot. I don't know if it's a joke or not, but he's been posting a lot on his Facebook page about a Momo movie. I don't know if that's real or not. No, apparently not. Apparently that's a joke. Or at least he's not directing it. Oh yeah, I guess that was a joke. Okay, but maybe somebody else is making a Momo movie. I don't know. Let's look it up here. No, don't see anything on IMDb. Momo movie. The Momo Challenge is becoming a movie, and its origin is super creepy. From the maker of The Ring. Oh, jeez. But I mean, it's... Okay. A Momo movie. God. When will there be a TSF convention? I don't know. It should be. I agree. It should be in Las Vegas. How did I meet Lorne? I've not met Lorne. But I guess I was introduced to Lorne through Jason Parker of the Friday the 13th franchise website. Yeah, I've seen Frightmare. It's been a long time, but I've seen it. Oh crap! It's after midnight. Jeez, I didn't realize how late it was. I'm gonna have to run, guys. I'm exhausted from all the excitement over the past week, and got to be up early tomorrow. But appreciate you guys for hanging out with me for these past 2 hours and talking movies and talking this and that and the other thing, and always a lot of fun. And let me give Bad Raven, my buddy Steven, and Jerpian, thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate it. And yeah, you guys have a great night. I will have the footage of my Texas Chainsaw Massacre shooting locations hopefully ready to roll out day after tomorrow, and then shortly thereafter the video of the Talent Rated Sundown shooting locations. So yeah. All right, thanks Caniac. Have a good night yourself. Lauren, you just watched the trailer, so hopefully you won't die. Hope. All right, guys, good night. Take care. I'll see you again very, very soon. Hope no one is doing the hand thing in your closet. That would be odd. I'd just start doing the hand thing with them, you know. It would just be a hand off, a hand thing off, you know, just all night. I don't know. Thanks for Chill Factor review. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. All right, guys, have a good night. I'll see you again very, very soon. Take care. And until then, peace.